Okay, I'd like to call this meeting to order. If we could please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next is the moment of silence. Thank you. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Mason.
Present.
Trustee Reinders.
Present.
Trustee Lepore.
Present.
Trustee Muller.
Present.
Trustee Schaller.
Present.
Trustee Holhauser. Mayor Knightsky-Troicki.
Present. Next, community recognition. I don't have the recognition sheet or anything here with me. Did Gina leave one? Off what? That's it? Okay, we're going to recognize McKenna Miglorny. She's the first female at Lockport Township High School to earn the Class 3A state championship title in pole vault at the IHSA State Track and Field Finals. She didn't want to be here today. Well, actually, she's going to college. She's a little bit shy, so she really didn't want to make a big deal of it, but I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, she was the first female to accomplish this. I think she did great things for Lockport, and I'd just like to give her a round of applause for. I also want to recognize somebody else, not on the agenda. I'm going to do a better recognition next time. But Candace Bilski's son, Austin Bilski, does this Cups for Cancer every single year. And he had his lemonade stand yesterday and today. It was super, super busy when I got there. I had to park almost a block away. But the line was long. And from what I understand, he's got a lot of little entrepreneurs in town because they're following in his footsteps and they're doing their own lemonade stands. And I asked a girl that just did one last week, and I said, what made you decide to do a lemonade stand? And she said, well, I know there's this boy in town, and she actually said he was cute, and she said, and he does she's like 8, and she said, I saw what he does, and I want to do the same thing. So I thought that was really cool. So, and I will have something better next board meeting, but good job, Austin. Okay, so now amendments to the agenda. Are there any amendments?
Yes. I would like to move K6 out of the consent agenda and into legislation action items.
And where would you like to place it?
Wherever you would feel comfortable, I'm fine with.
You want to do L1A?
That'll be fine.
And that was K6. Any other amendments to the agenda? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the amendment to the agenda?
I'll make that motion.
Trustee Reinders, Trustee Muller, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, is there a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make that motion.
Trustee Mason, Trustee Reinders, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, now moving on to minutes. Is there a motion to approve March 26, 2025 Village Board meeting minutes?
I'll make that motion.
Trustee Schaller?
I'll second.
Trustee Lepore? Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, is there a motion to approve April 9th, 2025 Village Board meeting?
I'll make that motion.
Trustee Reinders?
I'll second.
Trustee Mason, any discussion?
Oh, ma'am.
Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, moving on to public comment. Please remember to keep your comments to 3 minutes. Unless you have something really positive to say, I'm sure the board will extend to 3. Mark Sheldon? Welcome.
Thank you for having me. My name is Mark Sheldon. I'm the Vice President for Government and Community Relations for Pavlov Media. We are a high-speed fiber optic internet company based out of Champaign, Illinois. We've been in the business for 30 years. We do fiber to the home throughout East Central Illinois, but recently we've been, and we're other states as well, but recently we've been making our way north from Champaign. We are under construction right now in Moni. We've already serving customers in Peatone, Bradley, Bourbonnais, and places in that Kankakee County area. We are now in the process of getting permits in Frankfurt, and we're looking at this entire Will County area to expand fiber to the home. So we are 100% fiber, 100% underground in our construction. We are a CLEC, which is a competitive local exchange carrier. That means we're a telephone company. We're registered with the state of Illinois, and that gives us the right to operate in the public utility right-of-ways. So that's how we go about our business. We believe that fiber to the home and business is the wave of the future. It's a requirement really for any community. A community like Homer Glen deserves more choices and definitely needs fiber as one of those choices. One of the most important things about our company is our record on safety and the efforts we take for safety. I think hopefully you've got the brochure here. If you get to page 5 on this brochure, and you'll see our construction principles, and that is, to me, is the most important thing, because the safety of our crews is number one for us. They're going out there, and there are things, there's electricity and gas and water that they need to avoid, so their safety, but the safety of your residents, obviously, and the safety of your own staff, who is often out there working side by side, helping us, or not helping us, but doing locations of utilities. And of course, we're trying to minimize the inconveniences that are going to be inevitable to some degree, but we want to make sure that those are very limited. We start every project that we have with a couple things. One, we're going to meet with your staff. We're going to go through the permitting process and abide by your ordinance. We are very familiar with your ordinance. It's modeled after the Illinois Municipal League, same ordinance that we use in Manteno and Piatone, et cetera. So we'll have a pre-construction meeting.
30 seconds.
Pre-construction meeting with your staff, but then we'll also have a town hall where we will come and be available to all your residents in advance of the construction starting and let them know what's going to happen, what they can expect. We notify them through the mail. We notify them with a card that goes on every door in the days ahead of construction. So we're trying to minimize their inconveniences, and we believe that fiber internet is a huge part of a growing community and a prosperous community. So we're looking forward to coming here in the coming weeks through the permitting process and for many years ahead as a provider of internet. So thank you for your time.
Thank you. The stuff that you just held up, can you leave those copies for us so we can see what
Yes.
you're referencing? If you
Yeah,
don't
I
mind?
think the flyer that you've got around, and
I get one?
yes, I
Oh,
can.
it's under here.
I only got one of these. I can give it to Mr. Baber if that's
Sure.
okay.
I'd just like to see what is actually being placed on the doors. The next 3 people on the public comment list, I believe you're all on the agenda tonight. Did you guys want to hold your comments till your item number is called? I see the couple there, and then Stan, is Stan here as well? Do you want to hold your comments as well? Okay, all right, well then that will end public comment. Will you pass that down? Yes, ma'am. All right, moving along. Reports and communication from President and other officers. Village Manager Joe Baber. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Brittany Parro, our communications person today, visited the, I don't know if anybody's aware, the Holistic Riding Equestrian Therapy stables over on Lamont Road. It's a wonderful program. I'm going to read a little bit about what they do there and offer their website. They're always looking for donations, and it's just a wonderful facility. We'll be putting up on our Facebook page a little bit more information and videos. Holistic Riding Equestrian Therapy is a therapeutic riding facility that is passionately committed to empowering individuals with varied physical, emotional, cognitive, and social abilities by improving their quality of life through the spirit of a horse. We are a PATH International member facility. Their website, www.holisticridingtherapy.org. Just a wonderful facility that they're running out there. So if anybody would like to offer their support, I ask that you do so. Also, we mentioned lemonade stands. So I think it's great supporting these nonprofits through the lemonade stands. I believe it's the will of the board not to have these need permitting. If that's the will of the board, we've not been requiring permits. We've been asked if they require permits. We've not been issuing permits or requiring the health department or anybody like that to go out. So I'm hopeful that that's the will of the board. If not, let me know, and we'll go on from there. And then finally, the Heroes Trail, the west extension's getting asphalted as we speak for the next few days. There's other roadway construction projects underway in the village, which I'm sure everybody's aware. Please be mindful of the workers and drive carefully out there. I know people get frustrated, but we've talked to some of the contractors and they've been harassed and different things. So I'd also like to ask Brett Westcott to give an update on Bell Road, if he can do that, please. And that concludes my report.
Are you giving Brett your floor?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Weska?
Yes, just a brief update on the Bell Road project.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I know that there has not been a lot of action out there currently. The contractor was delayed again with some other utility conflicts on site. Those have been rectified. However, what happens is when there's a delay, the contractor will take his crew off the job site, right? Things that are out of their control, and they'll put them on another job, and usually they'll have to finish that and wrap up what they're doing there prior to coming back on site. It's just the nature of the beast. It happens on every construction project when there's delays. This is par for the course for them. Here, the utility conflicts are unfortunate, but it's part of the business. These things happen on the projects. We are working to try to avoid utility conflicts in the future, making sure that we're pressing the county and some of their subcontractors and things for these relocations, that they have appropriate layout, that these things are getting put in the right spot. But the good news is that I did speak with Deconstruction today. It sounds like they're going to try to get out there tomorrow, if not Friday, for sure, to get back out there and continue work on the noise walls in Bell Road. So I would anticipate that that project will probably be wrapped up later this year. And then we can focus on the other construction project, which is Bell Road and 143rd Street. And then just as a brief update for that, there will be traffic impacts there. We can anticipate that next month. August 11th is the current date. All this information and stuff that I'm relaying to you guys right now will be updated on our village website on the development services page. I try to give bi-weekly to weekly updates on these projects and the status of the projects. That's the best source for your information. It's usually pretty up to date in regards to what's going on out there. So we're looking at stage traffic shifts probably the week of August 11th. So again, all this information will be up to date on the website, but just be mindful of that. There will be crews out there working between now and then.
Here's what I'm going to ask. I know it's your report, but I'm begging more or less. If we can do a Facebook update with just a link or give a quick synopsis of what is actually happening and a link to the Facebook or to the website, because I get messages about the Bell Road expansion at least 4, 5, 6 times a week. So it would be beneficial to have someone post on Facebook, this is where you can find your update, even if it's just, please, update. There's an update. Click here to read the whole thing. I think it would be very beneficial.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right, awesome. Was that it?
That's it.
Okay, moving on to the trustees. Is this out of order? I feel like it's out of order. Trustee Lepore.
Thank you. I had the pleasure of attending the Planning Commission meeting last Thursday, and one of the items of importance was the development of 14025 South Bell Road. As chair of the Economic Development Committee, I would like to call attention to the development of the former Chili's restaurant location. The Planning Commission will meet Thursday, August 7th at 7 p.m. for a public hearing and the possible conversion of the former Chili's restaurant to a chain steak location. At this meeting, residents can attend, comment on this proposal, as well as be brought up to speed on the potential conversion. This is a great opportunity to get your questions answered and make your voices heard. Thank you.
Aren't we talking about that tonight? Thank you, Trustee Lepore. Trustee Mason?
Not a lot to report. There is a lot of construction going on 143rd Bell Road. I was going to mention it. I appreciate Mr. Westcott. He has been giving us updates. He does that through our Public Services and Safety Committee. Keeps us in tune. I've asked him to do that for the simple fact that I knew a lot of residents were looking for information. It's very hot out there with all the construction. Just want you guys to please be safe and make sure you stay cool. That's it.
Thank you. Trustee Reinders?
Not a lot to report, Mayor. But I would just like to give some notification to the public to be mindful of the new park on Golden Oak. The park is not officially open yet, and there is still some grading that has to be done there. So if you're out there playing with the kids, and I know everybody's so anxious, and they are out there playing, but be mindful of, there's a lot of divots and things around the new concrete that was poured, and where the water fountain is going to be going. So just be careful if you're out there with the kids. And also, I would like to add to Trustee Lepore, holistic riding is, I'm sorry, to Village Manager Baber. Holistic riding is they provide such a great service to our community and to the surrounding communities. I myself, for one, with Tazo, we hold a fundraiser for them every year. And it's usually right around September, October. So if anybody is ever interested, please, please give to this organization because they're really great and they do a lot for a lot of families around here. I've seen some instances where kids have been so non-responsive, but yet when they come in contact with these animals, they just seem to lighten up. So I would say support them anytime you can. That's my report.
Thank you. Trustee Muller?
Again, not a lot to report. I just want to give a shout out to the Will County Sheriffs. I see they've been getting some, I don't want to say negative publicity with a couple of the isolated incidences, but the visibility I see, the resources that we have available through them is just, it's second to none. So I see them, I live in a little quiet corner pocket, and on a regular basis, there they are, driving through. So it's nice compared to a lot of other small communities with their own police departments. It's you don't get the visibility.
Thank you. Trustee Schaller?
Thank you. And I'm going to jump right on that bandwagon regarding Will County Sheriff. I'm sure everybody is aware of the armed vehicle theft that took place on July 15th. Will County Sheriff responded, tracked this vehicle through the use of LPR and LoJack systems and recovered it and made an arrest. Great job by everybody that was involved. With that being said, Homer Glen had an advisory referendum, I believe it was the last election, regarding LPR usage. And it was through the advisory referendum, it was not brought forward to continue that program. Our village attorney can advise me if I'm incorrect in this, but I believe an advisory referendum is not binding. And if it is not binding, I think reviving Homer Glen's LPR program is necessary. I think those tools are needed for our Will County Sheriff, especially with outside actors that come into town and steal cars at gunpoint. Those are tools that are used everywhere in northern Illinois. And this Homer Glen is most likely the only suburban municipality that is not using that capability. So I'd like to bring that forward, that the board and this village move forward with the LPR program once again. And that's all I had.
Thank you. Madam Clerk?
No report.
You don't even want to congratulate
Well,
your son
I do
on
want
a
to
job
congratulate my
well
son.
done.
I'm so exhausted from, it was hot today, I'm not gonna lie. I felt bad for Joe if I wasn't gonna be able to take a shower before I came here, cleaning up, but no, I do want to thank everybody that came out. I know that the principal over at the junior high at Homer 33C had sent out an email to staff, so there was a lot of teachers that came out. We had support from Lockport Porters, football, baseball, so it was just great to see so many people come out, people that I didn't know, so thank you.
All right, Village Attorney.
Yes, good evening, everyone. Just as a recap of the last village board meeting, the Board of Trustees voted unanimously to approve an ordinance which created a violation of the village code for a utility-related company to occupy and utilize village property right-of-way and whatever else property that the village had without having a license or franchise agreement in place. To that end, I'm currently working with Brent Westcott on a telecommunication provider that had come to us and wants us to review a proposed licensing agreement. I put on my back burner. I do apologize to Brett for that, but I'm taking a look at it. I've spoken to Mr. Westcott about it, and we should have something wrapped up within the next week or so. Secondly, I'm pleased to report, too, that we did receive a response back from Illinois American Water on July 16th. It was directed to the Illinois Attorney General. From those of you who do not know, on July 2nd, the Illinois Attorney General did itemize some billing concerns and sent off a letter to Illinois American Water requiring a response. Illinois American Water did provide that response on July 16th, and the Village of Homer Glen and the Illinois Attorney General are currently in the process of reviewing that response. Notwithstanding, without admitting liability, Illinois American Water, in the spirit of cooperation, it's my understanding they have agreed to sit down with the Illinois Attorney General and members of the Village Board of Trustees and the Mayor to have a discussion. We anticipate this discussion to take place sometime that second week of August, the week of August 11th. However, a date has not been confirmed yet. So this is a positive step in the right direction into working collaboratively with the Illinois Attorney General and Illinois American Water to help alleviate some of these issues that we're having in regards to the billing concerns and other issues that the residents have voiced on that survey that was put forth back in February of 2025. A couple of board meetings ago, I had shared that I was going to be working with one of the committees on a ordinance, a bicycle-related ordinance. I'm still in the process of assimilating several ordinances from sister jurisdictions that seem to be working well in their jurisdiction. I come from the old school of, let's not reinvent the wheel. Let's find a bicycle ordinance that's working well in one of our sister jurisdictions, and let's use that, or give it to the committees so that they can look at these, talk to their sister jurisdictions, and see how it's working for them. So I plan on providing that to the Madam Pro Temp Mayor over here to my left within the next several days. And then she can utilize that with her committee, and they can go from there. So that's all of my report, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Public safety officials? You got nothing. Okay, me. Just a couple things. Yes, we are aware that the DMV in Orland has closed. Yes, we have been contacted regarding it. There's a lot of things that come with that. As the attorney likes to say, it's a lot to unpack. I am talking to Mayor Dodge and Supervisor O'Grady about this, and we're just going to discuss it. So I know I'm getting bombarded with, we can have a DMV, we don't want a DMV. Let me find out the information first before any more emails are sent off to me about what we need and what we don't need. The next thing is there was some rumors circulating about a repo lot on 167th Street. That is not in our jurisdiction. It's more than 1.5 miles away from us. We have no say-so. That's in another town. We have nothing to say about it. We can't say anything about it. It's not our town. Just like when Mayor Pekow said Homer Glen needs 143rd to be expanded, I didn't like when he stuck his nose in our business. I'm not going to do it over there. Talking about 143rd Street, I want to give an update. The county board did have a meeting. Myself, Mr. Baber, Trustee Mason, Trustee Schaller, Supervisor Stylen, we all went. Trustee Stylen and myself spoke. They cut me off at 3 minutes. However, what happened was they were voting on a plan, a transportation plan, a 2040 plan. And with this plan, the board went ahead to vote to adopt the plan with the removal of the 143rd Street project. After they voted, the vote was 13-9, meaning they voted in our favor to remove the project. The Assistant State's Attorney then stepped up to the microphone and basically said that vote doesn't count. Basically said that you don't vote on a plan. A plan is just a plan. The engineer can still submit the plan without the board approval. So as you can see, a healthy conversation turned into a conversation with more heat to it. The board got rather upset and just decided to remove the entire agenda item from the agenda. So they didn't vote on the plan at all. The good news is that we had 13-9, meaning they're listening, they're hearing us. I don't want the residents who don't want this expansion to give up. I am meeting with county board members individually, one at a time, to explain our stance, explain where we are and why we are where we are and why we don't want this. Again, with that being said, the thing that's really upsetting is the county executive at that time had took that plan a year ago and drove it down to Springfield, or when they voted on it a year ago, she drove it down to Springfield to tell the senators, this board voted to pass 143rd Street. So it was good then, but but it's not good now. So I'm not giving up, and I hope that the residents continue to send emails to the board members, the county executive, and so on. After I have one meeting tomorrow with one of the county board members, I will give an update, and I will keep continuing to fight along 143rd Street. But after that, the county executive, the engineer, myself, and village manager Joe Baber are going to have a meeting with them to discuss some further steps, as the engineer did say he would like to sit down and have a conversation and look into a third lane. Does not mean any promises, but look into an option. So again, no promises are being made. Another thing is, next year is our 25-year anniversary for the Village of Homer Glen, and it's also the 250th birthday of the United States. So this village is going to have some parties next year. So any businesses that really want to participate in our 25-year anniversary, please let us know. We're looking at some cool, fun things to do. If anybody has some really cool ideas or can pitch in and help, that would be great. We're always looking for help. I do want to recognize Brittany Para. She has done a lot this week. As Mr. Baber had said, she went to the holistic riding, but she also went and visited the Cups for Cancer today. She took a video of the other day. We were driving down the street and saw a little girl doing another lemonade stand, and she stopped and pulled out her camera and did a live feed and took some pictures. So she promoted her there. And then I went to Victorian Village with the Ability Awareness Committee, and we served the seniors a steak dinner. Brittany was there once again, entertaining all the seniors and getting them to laugh, and even helped me carry some dishes out. It was really cool. So I do really want to thank Brittany for being there for the residents and consistently recognizing the residents when they need to be recognized. So I appreciate that. I think that's all I have for right now. A couple other things I want to talk about. We're going to go over in new or old business. Okay, consent agenda. Which one did you remove, Kurt? 6?
K6.
Okay. Consider for approval the accounts payable for the period of July 12th, 2025 through July 25th, 2025 in the amount of $1,017,868.95. Consider for approval the treasurer's report of cash and investments for the period ending April 30th, 2025 in the amount of $48,775,001.53. Number 3, consider for approval a payment for the Village of Homer Glen's May legal bills for Peterson, Johnson, and Murray in the amount of $14,616.50. 4, consider for approval pay estimate 1 for the Heritage Park cul-de-sac lighting project in the amount of $143,439.30. 5, consider for approval pay estimate 4 for the Heritage Park parking expansion project in the amount of $73,535.49. 7, which is now 6, consider for approval of payment to the Northern Will County Water Agency in the amount of $22,074.56 as reimbursement due to a calculation error of the 2024 member refund. 8, consider for approval the resurfacing bid from PT Farrow Construction in the amount of $400,539.77 and all auxiliary work for the total not to exceed $479,301.63 for the addition to the Village of Homer Glen 2025 road resurfacing project. 9, consider for approval a professional services agreement with HR Green, Inc. for the Village of Homer Glen 2025 resurfacing program, additional RBI funding for preliminary and construction engineering services in the amounts of $40,000. Is there a motion?
I'll make,
Wait.
Can you,
What?
2 of those are supposed to be subject to my review and approval. I'm going to call Joe real quick.
Mr. Baber? I have a
Yes,
question.
Items K, 8, and 9 should probably be added to legislation, or, I don't know, Mike, maybe you could answer with the stipulation that these agreements are pending legal review.
Yes, subject to the review and approval of the village attorney.
and that's the same thing with K6, so I think all 3 should be subject to.
K6 is a little bit different situation.
Well, he has redone it already though, right?
K6 was, the resolution in its entirety was adjusted
Okay.
prior to.
So 8 and 9 8 shall read, as it's seen on the agenda, subject to the attorney's review.
Correct, ma'am.
And 9, same thing, subject to the attorney's review.
Yes.
Now is there a motion?
I'll make that motion with the consideration for review for K, 8, and 9.
Trustee Mason? Trustee Reinders. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Schaller.
Aye.
Trustee Reinders. Trustee Mason.
Aye.
Trustee Muller.
Aye.
Trustee Lepore.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, so that was a motion to amend. Now, is there a motion to approve consent agenda as amended? Trustee Reinders?
Second.
Trustee Lepore. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Reinders. Trustee Mason.
Aye.
Trustee Muller.
Aye.
Trustee Schaller.
Aye.
Trustee Lepore.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, L1, consider for approval the mayor's appointment for the Homer Festival Committee, which is, appointments are Chair Dan Waddick, committee members Mike Carlson, Tony DeMasso, Tony Drabeck, Bill Frossard, Mark Alron, Ron Kuss, Paul McGarry, Sue Stylen, and Jen Vittori. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Trustee Mason and Trustee Reinders, any discussion?
No, ma'am, we need to fill these voids.
Any other comments? And as everybody knows, the reason why we do this late is because obviously the fest just ended, so we do the fest committee appointments after the fest. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Mason.
Aye.
Trustee Schaller.
Aye.
Trustee Reinders.
Aye.
Trustee Lepore.
Aye.
Trustee Muller.
Aye.
Motion carries. We're going to go to K6. Consider for approval Resolution 25-005, ratifying and approving an agreement with Davidson's Bar and Grill via the Homer Stallions to facilitate concessions on our premises for the Homer Stallions upon meeting all Village and Health Department permitting, licensing, and other requirements for 2025 athletic season in the Village of Homer Glen. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion, Madam Mayor.
Trustee Mason.
I'll second.
Trustee Lepore. Trustee Mason.
I knew there was some adjustments and changes on this resolution, so I wanted it pulled from the agenda so we could discuss it.
Sure.
So I think even Joe, do you know exactly what was changed, or yourself? Yes.
There was some language under the attorney's review that was the prior addition in the packet. The original packet was reviewed by the attorneys, and those changes were reflected in the new resolution that is in front of you.
So, in the new one that was on our dais?
Yes.
So I haven't had a chance to compare this to the old one, but do you see the changes
Yes.
reflected?
Do you want me
Okay.
to quickly talk?
Sure.
Okay, so when I had an opportunity to review the packet, and I usually review it Friday evenings, but it's been very busy, so I reviewed it early this morning. Somehow an old iteration of these sorts of concession agreements were included in the packet. So I contacted Mr. Baber, and I provided the proper writing of the proper concession agreement, one that we previously had done back in March of 2025, and the village quickly made changes to it, and the one that you have on your dais is the proper form. So what you're doing is that you're simply giving consent. We're not necessarily ratifying anything. The village is simply giving consent pursuant to the sports service agreement that we have in effect right now. You're giving consent to them to allow this vendor to be on the property to provide concession services. We make that a requirement, part of the master agreement, so that the village is always aware who is conducting food and beverage service on village property. That's it. Yeah.
Okay, so the motions have been made. Any more discussion? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Mason.
Aye.
Trustee Lepore.
Aye.
Trustee Schaller.
Aye.
Trustee Reinders.
Aye.
Trustee Muller.
Aye.
Motion carries. L2, consider for approval a motion to take from the table an ordinance granting 1, a variance to permit an accessory structure in the front yard where the accessory structure are not a permitted obstruction. 2, a variance to increase the maximum aggregate square footage of accessory structures from the allowed 1,200 square feet to 2,277 square feet. And 3, a variance to increase the maximum height for the accessory structure from the permitted 15 to 17 feet for certain real property located in the R2 Single Family Residential at 13506 West 167th Street, Homer Glen, Illinois, HD 2506-B. Is there a motion to remove it or to take from the table?
I'll make the motion to remove it from the
Trustee
table.
Mason. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Trustee Lepore. I have to read that again? Okay. Madam Clerk, call the roll. please call the roll.
Trustee Mason?
Aye.
Trustee Reinders?
Aye.
Trustee Lepore?
Aye.
Trustee Muller?
Aye.
Trustee Schaller?
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, I got to read it again. Is there a motion for approval of an ordinance granting, one, a variance to permit an accessory structure in the front yard where accessory structures are not a permitted obstruction, two, a variance to increase the maximum aggregate square footage of accessory structures from allowed 1,200 square feet to 2,077 square feet, and three, a variance to increase the maximum height for an accessory structure from permitted 15 feet to 17 feet for certain real property located in the R2 Single Family Residential at 13506 West 167th Street, Homer, Glen, Illinois, HD 2506V, with the following condition. One, the applicant must plant 10 arborvitae or something similar in each approximately 5 feet tall for screening and building. Is there a motion?
I'll also make that motion.
Trustee Mason, is there a second?
I'll second.
Trustee Muller. Trustee Mason.
The Plan Commission did vote 5-0 on this and recommended to approve. I would ask that the trees maybe be bigger than 5 foot. He does have a berm out in front. Supervisor Stylen and myself actually visited his property multiple occasions. I've been back there because my father-in-law lives around the corner multiple times. I know that there was no history of code enforcement complaints on this property. The site has been inspected a couple times because somebody had stated there was commercial operations. When we went there was only 2 passenger vehicles on the site, which is permitted. Applicant did submit photos of their off-site storage location for their contractor business, so I just want to make that clear. I've talked to the resident, Gary Strock, several times. He's pretty articulate. I hope he's here tonight. Oh, he is. Fantastic. He is here tonight. And he's very good at what he does. I recommended and tabled this the last time because I thought it was important that he be here in case anybody else on the board has had questions or concerns. I've looked at the footprint. I've been on the house. I've walked your property, even when you didn't know I did. Sorry about that. Again, I looked it over with Supervisor Stylen when she was still here as a trustee. It's a big property. It's very nice. It's maintained. It's more than adequate for what he's asking for. I think you have 65,340 square feet, which exceeds the minimum lot size for this type of structure. You are in an R2 district, which permits 40-foot buildings to be set back from the road. The home was built further into the property, which leaves that possibility there because you have a large overextended front yard. The front setback right now, the ordinance says 40 feet. You're looking at 103. The lot coverage, the ordinance calls for 20%. You're only asking for 19. The impervious cover, the ordinance says 24. You're only looking at, or it actually says 30, and you're only looking for 24. Gary and I, Mr. Struck here, had spoke on several occasions, and I've even asked you and talked to you about removing the side porch, which creates another issue, which is a variance to be able to get to that. Even if you remove the side porch to put it in the back, then there's the matter of what we had discussed when Mr. Struck was not here, which was the hardship case. This land sits in the back of his house at about anywhere from a 5 to 7 foot drop, I believe, and you can correct me if I'm wrong.
Correct.
But I think half of the year, his house would either be underwater or you have to go through hula hoops and build up that ground to be able to actually build a structure in the back of this place. So for the hardship reasons, I'm in agreement, so.
Okay, thank you. Trustee Muller?
Trustee Mason did all these technical points on it. I too, I took a ride by, scoped it out, and it's one of those lots where your hands are kind of tied. What you can do, you can't get past the house. The backyard is developed. It doesn't make sense really to put it anywhere else. With that being said, the structure itself is extremely well designed. It looks like it's going to be just as nice, if not nicer than the house and probably every other accessory structure in the surrounding areas. And this is one of our more little rural pockets of Homer Glen where it's kind of common to have a whole barn, accessory building, and something like that. So I have no problem with it at all.
Thank you. Trustee Schaller?
Just a few questions here. Looking at an overhead view of this property, on the west side of your lot coming up to 167th Street, it's heavily wooded. Have those trees been removed, or is that staying as,
The west side of my lot?
it,
There's trees on the west side of the lot on the property line, yes, and.
right, it
brush.
separates the lot next to you?
Correct.
Are those staying, or do those have
Those
to
are
be
there.
removed?
Those are there still.
Will
Pardon
they
me?
stay?
The trees are there still, they stay.
Okay.
That button pushed up there?
It's green.
Okay.
Trustee Lepore? Oh, were you done? I'm sorry. I thought you were done. Sorry. Hold on, Trustee
I've got a
Lepore.
few-
Trustee Schaller. Sorry.
Questions here. I understand the back of your yard, I understand the slope, the pool's there, you can't get back there to put it. The height of your home right now, is it under 24 feet is at the peak?
The height of my home?
The highest peak of your home residence, is it higher than 24 feet?
I can't tell you exactly where it is, but the garage will not be higher than the peak of my house.
Okay. No further.
Okay. Trustee Lepore?
Thank you. After reviewing the packet and looking at the Planning Commission's recommendation, in spite of even the neighbors' concerns, I have no concerns or no problems with this plan. You know, I'm very pro. It's your lot. You do what you like with it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Trustee Reinders?
I have a couple of questions. One of my first questions is how many acres is your house on there? What's the
1.5.
actual? Pardon? 1.5?
1.5.
1.5?
Yes.
And when was your pool put in there?
My pool was put in 2022.
In 2022?
Yes.
And I went by yesterday,
Okay.
and I noticed that the front lot is completely clear now, when there was a lot of brush there before.
There was brush that we cleared, yes?
Yeah, the whole lot is completely cleared.
Correct.
How many trees did you take down from there?
I wouldn't say we took down big trees or anything, we took down brush.
Just all brush?
Overgrown weed, yes.
I see that there was 3 trees that were labeled with yellow ribbons. Are those trees coming down?
No,
They're not?
no. Those are
Okay.
white oaks.
They're white, okay, I was hoping not. I have some concerns only because of the way that your house is shaped.
Okay.
Why are you not just building on to the existing garage that's already there?
I could answer that because I didn't think that would look nice from the street. I was concerned with how adding on to it. I mean, you could add to it, but I was concerned with how it was going to look. When we moved in, we didn't feel that our house had very good curb appeal, and we've really been trying to help that a little bit, and I was concerned that that was going to.
But you think by
Not look
adding
good.
a separate facility or ancillary structure that it's going to make your house appear any better?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
The way that it will be done, yeah.
Absolutely, with the designs and the materials that are going to be used, it's going to look beautiful.
So will you not see the peak of your house anymore?
You still see it because we're putting the auxiliary structure on an angle. So when you drive by, you'll still be able to see the house. It's going to look beautiful when you
And
go
it's
down the
not going to
street.
be connected to the house at all?
Correct.
The driveway separates it.
No further questions.
I don't think your house is ugly. I think it's
No,
cute.
it was when
Oh.
we firstly, because all of that was in the front. I wanted it down because it was all dead stuff, and I was like, our house is starting to look cute, and now we're hiding it by dead, overgrown things. So that was my concern with, I just didn't think that we could make the style of it
Yeah.
look appropriate by adding on, because it's already kind of silly that our garage is in the front already. And so to add on to that more without just making a new, nicer thing. That was me. I thought that it wouldn't look very nice.
It sounds like it's going to go in your favor from what I'm hearing from the trustees. I just want to make sure a few things, okay? So I don't vote, but I just want to make sure. You did read the rules, right, for home businesses, because I do understand that you have a home business. And you know that you can't operate this, you cannot use this as your business. I want to make sure that you understand that.
Absolutely.
Because if you are, the village can come down on you for that, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. And when I'm looking at this picture here, will that garage block your house from here? No, it's not. I know you said it's set to the side, but I can't.
Set on the, so if you look at like that plot survey that's on the screen to the right, you can see we have our driveway is a circle, and it reconnects, and you can see it's on an angle, so you'll see my house when you drive past it.
Yeah, but here's the. Oh, well then what's this? I thought that was it. Yeah. Sorry, sidebar.
No worries.
Isn't this the garage here?
No, there's a garage on this side of the driveway, so it splits. So it splits like this, goes that way, the house is here. And you
I
have
see.
the garage, or a causeway, like this. What would you call it, a causeway?
What, between the house and the existing
between the house
garage?
and the existing structure right
Yeah,
now.
I mean, we're able to drive up to the
So
front
this is a
door.
loop. This picture here is a loop, and he's proposing, he's got to be on the other side of the driveway because he has nowhere else.
The yellow side.
Yes, right here.
Yeah, it is
Yeah,
this
right
one. Okay.
Because here's the existing one, here's the house.
This is the house, yeah.
Here's the back all in here.
So you're, okay. Okay. I mean, I get it. They vote, they make the decision.
It'd be easier to-
I just want to make sure, because on Parker Road, it seems to be that when people move there and they have a business, just like you guys just put your pool in recently, and then they go, oh, I need a garage, right? So it's almost like the garage would have been more important, right?
It actually was. When we were moving out here, I was calling here every time we looked at a house to ask, how big can we add? And then
Yeah.
when we we couldn't afford, when we first wanted to do it, because I didn't think to ask that it couldn't be like,
So one of our first intentions when we moved out in 2020, before we actually put the contract on the house, we called, we found out what the zoning was, and, we were under the assumption, since it was more rural where we were, that we'd be able to put a metal accessory building in our yard. But that wasn't the case, and the construction standards at the time, we couldn't financially afford them. Now we can.
Oh, good for you.
We'd like to, make it as nice as possible. I wouldn't do anything to jeopardize my curb appeal or anything around me. I don't want anything that looks commercial. I don't want to look at that. I drive past it every morning when I turn the corner. I don't want to look at.
Yeah, because Parker Road is obviously one of our cherished roads, right? It's very rural, and we don't want to, put extra trucks, and unnecessary traffic that. And did you bring your lease for your other location that you actually run your business out of?
No, I did not bring the paperwork today.
But you have a lease somewhere else for your.
I have receipts for where we park every month. We get charged for it, yes.
Okay.
We have pictures of our off-site storage.
Okay, just because as you can tell from the emails that we received, that is the number one concern, and I just don't want to upset your neighbors by having trucks running, and so we all understand. I know you said yes, but I'm just making sure we understand. Yeah, but I'm going to go around again just one more time. Go ahead, Trustee Mason.
Would you be willing to, right now that berm's what, about 3 feet, 4 feet?
Yeah, I would say so.
Would you be willing to maybe make that berm a little bit bigger? And the only reason I ask is it's for your neighbors, right? It's for anybody who, I think you're trying to, from the conversations you and I have had, because you've called me a couple different times.
Yes.
And you said that you're trying to enhance the beautification of the property.
Correct.
Plus being able to clean up your yard, put your things away, and I understand all that. I think you should be able to do what you want on your property. Of course, you want to maintain as many of the trees, so I understand Trustee Reiner's question, and I know that was struck because I'm by it every day.
Right.
So I will know if you're running a business.
Absolutely.
But bottom line, if you'd be willing to either, and I'm not telling you what to do, and I don't know what your budget's like, I put in full-grown trees where I wanted privacy.
Absolutely.
I put in my arborvitae, and I've got 5 or 6 of them, I don't even know. It wraps around my patio. You can't see in there unless you're 30 foot tall. You can't see from any angle because they're 8 foot in width. And I'm not sure what you do, but I think 5 foot's not going to get it.
I'm willing to increase the size of it, absolutely. The size of the.
So we would have to add that in the condition, but I also want to clarify, so I know we're going to go around one more time, but I don't like when words in, like we have, or something similar, though it's too open for interpretation. So I'd like to either,
Lock it down now.
yeah, get it
So what would
specific.
If you don't mind me asking, would you rather put in bigger trees or would you rather build up the berm? I mean, something's got to transpire.
I don't know if I could, I'd be open to building up the berm, but NICOR does run right through that berm, so I'd have to get permission for NICOR to, I don't know if we could bury it more, if that'd be an issue with NICOR. I would just want to make sure there wasn't a safety concern, because NICOR does run through that.
Well, I'm all for the bigger trees.
Well,
I'm all
but
for
it's
bigger
on,
trees too, because I didn't plan on putting 5-footers up. I plan on putting something up so it all blends in and it looks nice. Like, I want nice.
yeah, I get you, but I understand what you're saying.
Let's make the trees.
Okay, so as of right now, the condition is the applicant must plant 10 arborvitae or something similar. We got to fix the something similar, and it says each approximately 5 feet tall for the screening or building. I'd hate to say 10 feet, because if you want to go higher, I mean, you could say no shorter, nothing less than, whatever it is, whatever you guys agree upon. But I want to make sure that we clarify what something similar is. Is arborvitae what you plan on putting up?
That I don't know. It's going to be something that blocks and I guess I wouldn't say shades it, but it's something more of a privacy barrier. I'm not a landscape architect, so I don't know.
Can we do a condition with the landscape approval? Huh?
Could we just put evergreen?
Could we just put arborvitae? I mean, if arborvitae is what's going to.
So usually we have like a landscape plan. Usually like the petitioner would show us what their landscape plan is and we would approve it. I think the condition is too loose. It's too.
Well, let's just make it arborvitae at least 8 feet tall. Would that work?
If that's up to the board.
We could put evergreen, and then whether it be a spruce, a pine, or an arborvitae, anything like that.
I just want it specific. So whatever you guys put, I just want it changed. Evergreen or arborvitae. Okay, so I'm assuming, Trustee Mason, that you're changing your motion to amend it.
Change the motion to read nothing less than 8 foot in height and a evergreen or arborvitae type tree. And at least that.
Madam Clerk, did you get that? Yes. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't have the mic.
I would still like to see a landscape plan, though.
Is that what?
Is there a
There's a
second?
motion to amend.
I would not approve this the way this is today. I would only approve this based on a review of a landscaping plan to cover this.
It's usually what we do. It's not saying you can't have your building. It's just saying that we'd like to see the landscape
I
plan.
mean, at the end of the day, once we submit plans to the village building department, they'll have everything there when the time comes for the plan review through the building department. It'll have the landscaping on there and.
Yeah, but just because it does, but we have to have that approved in here. So I'm gonna revert to the attorney for just a second. What is the best way to word this?
You can handle it two ways, ma'am. You can either table this,
I don't want to table the garage.
okay? I think it's all in one. My understanding is it's kind of in one package deal. So you can approve everything that's there and make it subject to the village board's approval, review and approval of a landscape plan for that particular area to which there's concerns that are being raised.
So as Trustee Mason stated, it could be arborvitae, 10 arborvitae or evergreen, it even says approximately, no less than 8 feet tall with board approval of landscape?
Subject to board approval upon.
Where's the condition at, ma'am? I think the cleanest way to do this is just simply say, condition number 1, the applicant must submit a landscape plan for that particular area, and it's subject to the village board's review and approval, period. Don't even specify arborvitae, don't even specify whatever it is.
Because I don't want to lock you into that either until.
You know now what the applicant is intending on submitting, either an evergreen or an arborvitae, but maybe there's something else that the applicant, after speaking to a landscape architect, believes is better suitable for that screening. So I would just have it read, this is approved, and the one condition is, it's the entire variances here would be subject to the review and approval of a landscape plan by the Village Board of Trustees.
And that was your motion, correct? Are you good with that?
I'll second, yeah.
Okay. It's just for the landscape, though, okay?
Okay, I understand.
So
And
what you
obviously,
would-
you're still voting on, approving the variance for the structure. As long as the structure variances go through, I have no problem spending the money to get all the landscape
So your
plans.
variance will go through, but subject meaning as long as you provide us your landscaping plan and we like it.
Okay.
And I mean, I don't care if it's like a red, you know, like you don't have to show flowers and
Making
stuff.
sure you're following through.
Do you want an actual landscape architect to draw it, or can we draw it up
You
ourselves?
should have I'm sorry.
What he was gonna say, you should probably have a landscape architect, but
I mean, it's
that's,
pretty simple and
it's
basic.
simple.
I mean,
if you could,
Or
yes, Joe.
I think also the
Or
night core
would-
concern needs to be addressed too. He mentioned night core line running through
Yeah.
there.
well, that's if we wanted to go with the berm, building up the berm. We're gonna put, you know, the way I was did by planning was literally put the arborvitae's right behind the structure to block out the structure. So that they're not,
So you would see a bigger front yard,
Right.
and
It
then
would
the
hide the
arborvitae
structure
or
with the
trees, then the
arborvitae's, correct.
structure.
I mean, it's up to the board if they want a
Also, I don't
landscape
know-
architect, but I mean, I guess if it's just 10 trees,
I don't know if you guys would want like a bond. I could give you a bond, so if we don't actually
Who brought that up last
the
time?
landscaping. I mean, I'm in the trades, so.
yeah, let me have the attorney.
Subject to the, when something says subject to the review and approval, what it means is that the board is in complete agreement on everything that you have here. However, you do not have any variance rights. You don't have any vested right to do any activity on that property until you submit a
Absolutely.
landscape plan showing whatever screenage you plan on putting at that particular location, and the village board deliberates on it and approves it. So, yeah, they're not going to go back and revisit all these other things, but you don't
Gotcha.
have a right to do anything until you submit that landscape plan, and the village board has an opportunity to review it and approve it.
Okay.
Got it?
So when's the next meeting you need it by?
Submit your plan.
2 weeks.
Submit your plan, and then we'll, as soon as you have it, we'll put it on the agenda.
All right, we'll get it
Okay?
taken care of.
We just got to make sure all our Ts are crossed.
We
and
still
Is.
vote on this, though.
Do you want to do it subject to review and approval?
Yeah, I think trustee Reinders motioned, and then trustee Mason second. Is there any more discussion on that? Trustee Schaller?
Nope.
Trustee Miller?
We're letting them draw their own landscape plan, like it'll just show tree clusters and the designation of what the tree is?
It's
or
up
we're
to you
having them-
guys.
Okay.
Are you guys okay with tree clusters? Okay. Do you know what the motion is? Yes. Okay. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll on the amendment?
Trustee Schaller?
Oh, can you read the motion?
What?
Yes, please.
Subject to the village board approval of the landscape plan.
Perfect.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
He wanted you to read the whole thing, but that's fine. We understand. Go ahead. No, it's all right. Go ahead. I read it twice. I think we're good.
Trustee Schaller?
Aye.
Trustee Mason?
Aye.
Trustee Reinders? Aye. Trustee Lepore?
Aye.
Trustee Muller?
Aye.
Okay, that was for the amendment. Now, we need approval as amended.
I'll make that motion to approve as amended.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Mason?
Aye.
Trustee Reinders? Trustee Schaller?
Aye.
Trustee Lepore?
Aye.
Trustee Muller?
Aye.
Good luck,
you.
guys. Don't procrastinate. Get back here.
Did you understand if we need a landscape?
You guys approved us to,
We
as
can.
trustee Miller, we can draw it up, and we'll get it over to you by the end of the week. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Moving on to number 3.
I know.
Is there a motion to approve an ordinance granting, 1, a variance to increase the maximum aggregate square footage of an accessory structure from the allowed 650 square feet to 960 square feet, 2, a variance to increase the maximum height for an accessory structure from the permitted 15-foot average height to a peak height of 21 feet, and 3, a variance to permit 5 garage bays facing a public right-of-way where only 3 are permitted for certain real property located in the R4 Single Family Residential District at 16302 South Bell Road, Homer Glen, Illinois, HG 2516-B. Is there a
I'll
motion?
make the motion.
Trustee Mason? I'll second. Trustee Reinders, is the petitioner here? You want to step up to the podium? All right, Trustee Mason, have at it.
All right, this property is characterized as having 51,908 square feet of area, which is over 4 times the minimum. Lot sizing is more consistent with an R2 family district, which is, their minimum lot size is 43, so he's even above that, 43,560. or 1 acre is permitted for a 1,200-foot total in accessory structures. The applicant is requesting a variance per the request, but the staff has long-term plans to, the staff, hold on a second here. The applicant is requesting a variance per the request of the staff, but has long-term plans to convert the current existing garage into livable space, which at that point he would remove the 2 doors from that facade. The lot size per ordinance is 12,500 square feet. He has 51,908. Lot coverage, the ordinance is 40. He's only looking at covering 11% of that. Impervious covers 40%. He's only looking at trying to cover 12% of that. So I get it, I understand it, and I don't have an issue with it.
Trustee Reinders?
I was out there, I looked at it, and the garage, the new garage is actually going to be on the north side of the house, right?
Yes.
Isn't there a really big drop there?
Yes, there's probably going to be another 6 feet of the retention wall, because I'll have to pour in foundation, because I won't be able to level that ground.
Okay, that's what I was kind of thinking, because when I looked at it, I was like, how are they going to build the garage on this? There's going to have to be a lot of concrete work done.
Yes.
So,
Woody?
okay.
Trustee Muller?
I drove by, I looked at it, I saw the drop off in the back, and by the looks of it, I mean, everything looks fine. I understand the larger driveway coming off to the side, it makes sense, and a lot of these are just, they're hard lots in areas to work with, and some people just have to do what they have to go for a little bit of an unconventional way to get what they need.
Trustee Shaler?
Thank you, Mayor. Just for clarification, on the rendering, I see 3 garage bays, and the variance is for 5? Mm-hmm. Where?
Two are underneath
2
the
are
house.
the existing?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm all set.
Trustee Lepore?
I concur with the other trustees. I have no issues with this. Thank you.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Mason?
Aye.
Trustee Reinders?
Aye.
Trustee Lepore?
Aye.
Trustee Shaler?
Aye.
Trustee Muller?
Aye.
Motion carries. You've got your garages.
Thank you, ladies and
welcome.
gentlemen.
Everybody likes garages around here. All right, number 4, consider for approval an ordinance granting 1, a variance to reduce the required side yard setback for the agricultural structure from the required 100 feet to 57 feet, and 2, a variance to reduce the required rear yard setback from an agricultural structure from the required 100 feet to 55 feet for certain real property located in the A1 agricultural district at 12156 West 179th Street, Mokina, Illinois, within the Homer Glen corporate limits, HG 2517B. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Trustee Shaler?
I'll second.
Trustee Lepore? Trustee Shaler? Is the petitioner here? Hi. Your turn. Trustee Shaler, do you have anything?
I have nothing.
You have nothing. You made the motion, right?
I did.
Oh, okay. Trustee Lepore?
It seems reasonable. The variance side setback from 57 out of 100 versus the rear setback from 55 to 100, it's agricultural. It's a large lot. It's an extremely large lot. Plenty of room for what they're doing. I don't have any problem with this.
Trustee Mason?
I don't have any issues. Everyone that questioned it came back in after they were told after the village told them what was transpiring. Each of the residents said they had no concerns.
Trustee Reinders?
I don't see any problem with it. There's enough land there, so, and it is an area where those are allowed, so I have no problem with it.
Trustee Muller?
It's part of our agriculture, our rural charm, and I think it'll fit right in with the that size lot.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Shaler?
Aye.
Trustee Lepore?
Aye.
Trustee Mason?
Aye.
Trustee Muller?
Aye.
Trustee Reinders?
Motion carries. You got away easy compared to the last 2.
Thank you so much.
Big lot.
All right, number 5, consider for approval the plot of consolidation for 16031 Ridgewood Drive. Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Trustee Mason?
I'll second.
Trustee Lepore? Trustee Mason?
The property owner has worked with the village to plat the easement to public utility and drainage easement, and would rather dedicate that to the village as opposed to the easement exclusively granting the Illinois American Water. The easement size is 20 feet in width, and bottom line, it sits between the two properties. I don't see why we wouldn't consolidate and make a nice, big, beautiful home on there, and the easement being the village's and not IAW's.
Trustee Lepore?
Yeah, there's really nothing you can really do with this lot with the easement running through the middle. I think joining the two makes a lot of sense. Thank you.
Trustee Schaller?
No comment.
Trustee Muller?
I agree, like you said, the easement down the middle doesn't make much sense, so turn them into one.
Trustee Reinders?
I have no issues with this.
Okay. So, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Mason?
Aye.
Trustee Lepore?
Aye.
Trustee Schaller?
Aye.
Trustee Reinders?
Aye.
Trustee Muller?
Aye.
Motion carries. Number 6, consider approval, resolution number 25-007, approving the following executive session minutes, February 28th, 2024, March 27, 2024, April 10th, 2024, and April 24th, 2024. The executive session minutes still require confidential treatment and are not to be released. Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Trustee Reinders.
I'll second.
Trustee Muller. Any discussion? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Reinders?
Aye.
Trustee Muller?
Aye.
Trustee Lepore?
Aye.
Trustee Mason?
Aye.
Trustee Schaller?
Aye.
Motion carries. Moving on to old business. Is there any old business?
I do have some, Madam Mayor.
Okay.
I talked to most of the trustees, I think I've talked to all the trustees actually this week, and discussed all these topics, and I'm very proud of the way the board is moving forward with the open lines of communication. I think it's productivity. Instead of being reactive, we're being proactive, which helps to expedite these meetings. During one of my conversations, Trustee Schaller had a great idea, which was, and I believe you and I had talked about it as well, which was the LPR and the basically low, the cameras that we need. So this wasn't just a resident that at gunpoint. This was a friend of mine who lives on the opposite side of the town. It was his wife. They were leaving the house in the morning to go to soccer practice when they were accosted. And not that Will County didn't do everything, and and everybody in their power did everything to apprehend these people as fast as possible. And we're very happy for that. But I'd like to know what vehicles, and I've learned more about the LPR system, or I guess they're called flock cams in some cases. But bottom line, when you put them at the entrances and the exits of our village, you can actually, it's garbage in, garbage out, or quality info in, quality info out. So if you put into the system that it's a black Ford pickup with a ladder on the left-hand side, that's the information it's going to give you. And it's going to do it pretty quickly, and it's going to alert the next towns, villages, and cities along the way. And the real-time information that helps us to apprehend somebody. And this is a terrible thing that's transpired, and I don't want it spilling over from Cook County into Will County. And I think it's important. And the last time it came up, it was a advisory, as Trustee Schaller had mentioned. I'm all for keeping my grandkids and my neighbors and my friends and our staff and our residents safe. So I'd like to definitely revisit this, please. The other thing I want to talk about is, you're right, there was many of us in unity at the county. Myself, Trustee Schaller, Trustee Muller, everyone and their brother, Trustee Reinders, yourself, you and Supervisor Stylin spoke. And I thought your speech was outstanding. You hit home. They responded by giving you I guess a half standing ovation, clap. It was the loudest one I had heard of the day. You did an outstanding job. You got the point across. You were articulate. And when they tried to shut you down, you put up your hairs. And when you put up your hairs and you got a little defensive, I thought that was the best you. That's when you took away from just saying presumptions and assumptions and projections, and you went to the facts, and it was from the heart. And that's when I believe we got the biggest bang for our buck. Right then and right there, I couldn't have been more proud serving on this board at this time. And listening to Trustee Stylen, she did miss one little point I reminded her of later, but bottom line, you guys did an outstanding job, and this board is working in unity, and I couldn't be prouder. Thank you.
I think you got a little choked up there. I'm sorry, was there any more old business? Because I wanted to piggyback off what you were saying with the cameras. Lieutenant Piazza, would you mind stepping up to the microphone? I promise I won't put you on any spot to answer any questions or anything. But when we did do the referendum, it did fail. And again, it is an advisory referendum. It didn't fail by a lot, but I think part of the problem was that our PR on behalf of the village on what these cameras really are about, we kind of lacked on it a little bit. I know the rumor went around that it's going to capture license plates and they're going to write you tickets if you speed through this. It has absolutely nothing to do with that. I am all for these cameras. As Kurt or Trustee Mason just got done saying, we have different roads. So some roads are owned by the village, some are by the township, some are by the county, some are by the state. At the time, I believe it was, and I can't remember, but I believe it was 10 cameras that we were looking to put up. We only actually got 2 up, and I believe it was on 159th Street, because it was kind of halted to see if there was a cost associated with it. And I know you can't make the decisions, but I'm asking you if this is something that the sheriff's office, it's a county road, it's a sheriff's office, I mean, can you ask the county, is there any other ways that, I mean, again, it was an advisory, so we could still do it, but I don't want to do something that the residents didn't want to do in the first place, I guess. I mean, unless we put it on another referendum for another advisory and explain, or, I don't know, but is there anything the sheriff's office can do to assist, since it helps you guys?
Absolutely. Right when Trustee brought it up, I was so happy to hear it. It was one of the biggest things when we started working with Flock, and I know all the kickback that the village got with those when it was first brought up. I'll go out to Laraway tomorrow to see what we can do for you. I know Dirk Obermeyer, I believe, was the one that came out here and tried to represent the sheriff's office into not pushing, but informing everybody about these cameras. They're a necessity, an absolute necessity, and I think for you guys to decide to bring up, but I'll go and start getting that information together for what we can do for you. I know that state roads, we have to go through the state. It is what it is. But we put them up all over the county. Any township roads or county roads that we owned, for what I know, we didn't have much of an issue doing it. It's just all permits. So. Right.
So, and again, I said I wasn't going to put you on the spot, but I know that New Lenox has them, Orland has them, and you guys solve crimes with these cameras all the time, right?
Absolutely.
Wasn't this the last incident resolved from a Flock camera?
It was.
And it happened in our town. Which town solved our case?
I don't know that entire one through and through, but I know that the Illinois Secretary of State Police was the one that ended up coming across it and put the stop sticks out and was able to get that, and then through them and our Tri-County Auto Theft Unit that our guys are in, started working with them on that.
Yeah, so if you can just kind of get something for us and bring it back and present it to the board again and find those stats and statistics of where, how, like New Lenox, I know they got solved a couple crimes. I don't even know what they're called. Flock cameras. Yeah, flock cameras. With the flock cameras. And, just kind of redo the whole bid again so we can get it out to the residents to let them know what it really is.
Absolutely. I'll be in investigations tomorrow morning. I was one of the ones on the board to put up the cameras throughout the county. So to sit down with them, I'll see if Dirk can come back out and give his spiel, and even more results that he's still in investigations now.
Yeah, and see if the county would be willing to pitch in on some of that financial. We could use it.
Out of my control.
Yeah, I don't know. You could talk to somebody, right? Come on, work together.
I believe it was, if I may, Mayor. I believe what it was the board at that time, because I was on the board at that time, was the monthly fee of what it was going to cost for the cameras. And I think that was the downside. And then there were actually some trustees that felt that it was an invasion of privacy. and that the information would be sold. So I think there was some miscommunication to the public. So I think in light of what has been happening recently, I think if we explain to them and they know exactly what these cameras can accomplish without all the other rhetoric or negativity involved with it, I think they would see that, this could definitely benefit the community.
Yeah, and I've worked with those cameras with my past in investigations. It's not an invasion of privacy. And monthly cost, I don't know how much it is. I couldn't tell you. But public safety, I think, is the bigger key point in all this.
Absolutely.
So, Madam Mayor?
Go ahead.
I was going to say, invasion of privacy was part of it last time. And bottom line, and we have 2 officers on the board. We have an officer standing right here in front of us. And bottom line, that information is wiped, and it cannot be used by an officer for any reason other than to initiate, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, to initiate a search on a specific vehicle for a specific reason. It's not like Big Brother government is sitting there watching us and cares where we're going shopping and what we're doing. And that was the concern the last time. What I'm concerned with is mothers with 2 little kids walking out of their driveways being accosted by some other residents from some other areas coming into our areas and pointing guns in their faces.
Automatic clips.
I know. I saw the video before anybody did.
Trustee Scheller, did you have something?
Yes. If you need anybody from the board to assist at the county level and the sheriff level, please come see me. I would love to have some deep conversations.
All right, will do.
Perfect. All right, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Another thing was Trustee Reiners had met with the American Legion. They were super happy. In fact, a few of them called me and very emotional because this memorial is finally moving forward. We have a goal. We want to get it done ASAP because we know our veterans are getting older and we want them to be able to enjoy this memorial. So I am very happy that it's finally moving forward, and I just wanted to say that the veterans were very thankful that you actually came to their meeting, spoke about it, addressed it, that you worked with them since day one and listening to their concerns and their needs and their wants for it, and they wanted me to publicly thank you. So I'm thanking you on behalf of them.
August 18th is the kickoff.
Yeah. The other thing I know I have so much going on here. Chili's, I know Chili's was brought up about, and I know you had brought up the bank. I know the board is discussing, can I touch on that or?
Which one, ma'am?
I know. I always get this turn and I'm like, okay, maybe I shouldn't say that. Chili's location.
Okay.
So Trustee Laporte had brought up that a bank was interested in it. In my opinion, I don't feel a bank is I don't think that is a good location for a bank. I think we have enough banks. I think we need more restaurants to help us financially with sales tax and whatnot. So that's just my thought on it. If anybody else has any thoughts, Trustee Reiners, restaurant owner.
Yeah, I am the restaurant owner. As a restaurant owner, I understand what happened with Chili's. The rent there was almost $30,000 a month. And for any restaurant in our small town of 24,500 to be able to support that and sell enough dinners to be able to crack that nut every month is going to be a far stretch. I know myself in our business, we struggle I'm a small business and I run my business. A corporate business runs themselves a little bit differently. And with the cost of food and goods these days and employees, it's becoming more and more increasingly difficult to run a restaurant. So, but as a customer of Chase Bank, I also have the frustrations of having to wait in line several times at Jewel in order to get service, or to have to make an appointment and not be able to get an appointment 2 to 3 weeks out when you know somebody's trying to break into your account and they're telling you, well, I can't see you until next week, or I can't see you till the next week, and we're going to have to change all your credit cards. That's very frustrating. So I see both sides of the coin, but just keep in mind, right now is really a very, very difficult time for restaurants. Very difficult. That's my opinion.
I don't like your opinion.
Madam Mayor?
Yes.
Actually, I agree with you. I think I actually, like I said, I've talked to just about every trustee right here on some topic this week, and Mike and I were talking about it, and my sentiments were very similar to your own. I'd like to, and I don't know if it's a restaurant or if it's some other type of business, but I think a bank really doesn't bring anything to the village. We've already got that. We've already got that. We're not getting any retail tax. We're not getting any gas tax. We're not getting any sales tax. We're not getting anything really from another bank being here than having another bank here. So I'd like to see some other sorts of businesses if possible. And Trustee Reinders, that was a great comments and sentiment on your part, but I'm wholeheartedly agreeing with your thought process at this point.
Okay. Okay. All right, good. And then the last thing I have is committees. So now that we finally have a full board, I had staff put the committees list together for you guys. So you have obviously us, you have behavioral health, community development, planning commission, there's economic development, there is environment, parks and rec, public safety, fest, ability awareness, and admin and finance. So I know we changed the rules to where a staff member or a member of the community can chair a committee, but since we have all new board members, or we have our board members now, and we're 4 new ones basically, newer, I want to put it out there to see if you guys can take the time to review all the different committees that we have. I hate adding committees, but I think some committees that are important that we have are the Water Task Force Committee. That, I think that would be big. I also think that we need a Long Run Creek Committee. I think I had one more other one. And when I say these committees, I don't mean stepping on staff toes. I mean it more or less helping or assisting the staff with things that they may need.
Could we do Long Run Creek and Water Committee together? I mean, just 2 different
It's
topics.
2 totally different beasts.
I know.
So
Fold them into the current committee, you want separate?
I don't, that's why I have it here for kind of, I should have put it under discussion, but we can do the same thing under old business. I think the Fest Committee runs really well with staff doing it, especially Dan Waddick. He proved himself with this fest he ran, so I don't think it's necessary to put any of us on there, because then we're stepping on, their toes. I think eventually it doesn't really necessarily need to be a committee. It could just be an event that the village puts on, and it is ran by the staff, which does a great job. Community Development Committee, I think that is kind of piggybacking off the event staff, because I think it kind of changed. I think its purpose kind of changed over time. The Community Development Committee was initiated by getting recognition for the residents or businesses and kind of bringing the community together, because we were so torn apart once upon a time. Now that the community is starting to come together, I think now there's, senior events, and there's all these different, I shouldn't say senior events, but recognition of things. There are sports organizations or anything. That's what the community development part of it was, but I think it kind of turned into event planning, which wasn't the goal. We have staff to do that. So there's different committees here I'm looking at. I think Joe Baber does a great job with behavioral health. Planning Commission obviously doesn't include you guys. Economic development, I know Trustee Lepore is really taking charge on that one, so I appreciate that. It doesn't mean you can't share committees either. I know we have Trustee Mueller and Trustee Mason, both on, what's the, public safety? Yeah. And then we have 4 trustees on admin and finance. So, I mean, there's, you guys can share committees too. So if there's something you want to be on, let me know. The Environment Committee, I know, is currently chaired by Taylor, our staff. So if anybody wants Environment Committee, I kind of thought that Long Run Creek can go underneath that, but that's a lot for a staff member to take on. So there's, I don't know, I just want you guys to think and talk about it and kind of, I love the Ability Awareness Committee. I really, really do. It's my heart and soul and my passion. But as my mayor duties keep, getting broader, increasing, I never thought I'd be attending 6 meetings in one day. But if somebody wants to take that over, Karen Adamczyk, who is the current chair, she does a co-chair, I should say. She does a great job with it, but if I have to offer it to trustees, staff, and then the residents. So just wanted you guys to kind of, if there's something that you're interested in, there's an SOP that explains what the purpose of each committee is, what it does. And I really would like to get this done by the next board meeting. So pressure's on. Homework for you guys. Okay, I think that's all I have. Oh, lemonade stand. We don't need permits for lemonade stand. That's crazy. The only permits I would say is if a resident wanted to sell lemonade in our parks or public property, village-owned property, because I know that would just open the door to someone just pitching a tent in our park and selling lemonade. We can't have that. But if they want to sell it in front of their house for charity or college, whatever, I mean, where did that even come from? Okay, never mind. I'm not even going to ask.
We've had that happen where they've popped up in our parks selling lemonade.
Yeah, we just don't allow it unless if it's for.
We'll put an age limit at 21. Those
And as long as it's for a nonprofit purpose, obviously, too.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. Well, I mean, okay, for example, I think it's a cute idea especially for Cups for Cancer, for our fest. I mean, why wouldn't they be able to give them a permit and set up, I mean, I don't know if that's competing with the fest, but our parade, if you had somebody selling lemonade or what about, where does it stop? Snow cones, slushies,
No, I think they should have to ask for permission on that.
in our public property.
Right, that's it.
Right, I mean, in our village property, yes. But if it's in front of their home and they want to do that, go do that.
Don't bring it up again.
Right? Okay, sorry. Yes,
Under old business,
Yeah.
something?
sure, turn your mic on.
Under old business, I would just like to inform everybody that we met with Taylor at our last Parks meeting. And one of the things I wanted to bring back to this board was the memorial tree ordinance. So at a later date, because we're getting a lot of requests now for Heritage Park and not for the other parks. And we really don't want Heritage Park to start looking like a cemetery. And people are not wanting to plant trees. They're wanting to pick a tree in our park and memorialize that. So I would just like if everybody could just keep that in the back of their mind, if we could just review that tree ordinance again, the memorial tree ordinance at a later date.
Sure.
But we did suspend any more memorials of any kind coming into Heritage Park because of the fact that we are going to be under construction and we're going to be going on to the other phases of the park, and we don't want to have to move memorial trees or memorial plaques.
Got it. Anybody have anything for new business? Trustee Lepore first, sorry.
Thank you. At this time, I would like to recommend this board revisit the Town Center Visiting Project. This study is still relatively new, not old at all, conducted in 2024. With a new board, fresh perspectives, we are ready to take on this challenge. I don't know the route to take, we revisit through economic development or workshop it through a subcommittee, but I believe the time is now to take another look.
Okay. Anybody have any comments on that?
I agree.
Great.
I'll be more than happy to help you. I worked on it for 2 years.
Great.
I'm glad you brought it back up, and thank you very much.
Sign me up.
For clarification, that doesn't mean we're going to have apartments surrounding it, because I know that was a big rumor.
$1.5 million condos.
Madam Clerk?
I just need to know if everyone's going to be in attendance at the next August 13th meeting, because Deputy Clerk Marcotte needs to update the pictures out in the lobby. So I know that she has spoken with Mr. Hallhauser, and he is going to be in attendance, so I just need to make sure so that we can get this on the book arranged with the photographer. So you can answer me?
I'll be
Or I can
here.
email you.
No, I'm here.
I'm here.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and we're going to go back to old business for 1 second?
Briefly, Madam Mayor, thank you. So I just wanted to expand a little bit on what Trustee Mason discussed previously in regards to Supervisor Steilen and our mayor's discussions at that Will County Department of Transportation meeting. When I spoke with legislatures from Springfield, when the quick tape bill was going through the assembly, and the mayor, the trustees, the village was so involved with trying to put a stop to it, there were two major issues that were brought to me. The first was, well, they told me, well, Mr. Pasquinelli, they're telling me that the most recent vote from the Will County Department of Transportation Committee was to approve the plan with 143rd Street expansion in it. That was brought to me. The second thing was, once we can take a look at that, the legislatures wanted to see compromise, meaning they wanted the village board of Homer Glen, the township, to get with the the Will County executives and try to fashion some sort of reasonable compromise. So even though the state's attorney came out and said that the vote didn't count, the fact that there was a 13-9 vote to remove 143rd Street expansion from the WDOT expansion plan, I think is very, very, very essential. I think it's very, very, very positive, because I'm going to take that information when the next session comes and speak to the legislatures and show them that the most recent vote that came through was to remove this from the DOT plan, which was the information, as the mayor pointed out, that was raised by the county executive when she went down to Springfield to try to show that that's what the will of the people truly was. Now, the more recent vote says from 13-9, regardless of whether or not it's counted or not, the vote was taken. You can't undo a vote once it's taken. I don't care what anyone says, because we're going to use that information to establish and to demonstrate to the legislatures that this is not what the will of the people want. This is not what the will of the Will County Board wants. So I think it's very, very positive. The second thing is the mayor's constantly trying to do is to try to fashion some sort of a reasonable compromise, or try to lay that opportunity out on the table for Will County to consider a compromise, because those are the two critical things that the legislatures wanted to see. If, for whatever reason, Will County does not want to compromise, that information will be conveyed directly to those legislatures too, that we've tried. We've demonstrated, number one, that the will of the Cook County commissioners was to go against this expansion, proof by the most recent vote, albeit they're saying it didn't count. You know, I mean, tellingly, now they're saying it didn't count before they said that it did. And secondly, we try to compromise, and they're not willing to do so. So although on paper it doesn't show as a positive result, for me, looking at the big picture of this, I think it's certainly momentum in our direction.
Thank you. And Illinois American Water, if you're an Illinois American Water user and you have phantom water bills, or you have some questions on your water bill, please bring your water bill into the village. We have an amazing staff, Amanda List, who is working on it. If you can email her, if you want to do it electronically, it's on our website. Her email address is on our website. So you can submit it via our website or go on the Facebook page. The information's there. Okay, workshop, we don't have any. Are we going into executive session?
Briefly.
Briefly. Okay, we are going to an executive. Is there a motion to go into executive session? Discussion regarding personnel?
I'll make that motion.
Wait. Discussion regarding pending litigation and utilities.
I'll make that motion.
Trustee Reinders.
I'll second.
Trustee Miller. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Thank you. We're going to take a 5-second recess. 5 seconds.